Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Reverse 1999 reaction. Today we have When the Alarm Sounds, I guess the general OST. There wasn't a specific song that Blue Talon threw into the comment for this one. So I'm assuming this video I found from Merui is the exact one, probably, most likely. Obviously, I don't really know though, so like if this is the wrong video, let me know and I'll maybe do that one next time. But for now, we'll listen to this one and I hope it's right. So without further ado, let's go! Oh, right away. Well, they said it was a fun OST. So I'm probably in the right place, because, I mean... All right. Loves me a good, like, 80s retro chiptune inspired pop sort of sound. This has a lot of things already. But that makes it all the more fun, you know? There's the alarm. It's so driving in that 80s way. I mean, we're just kind of getting pulled constantly. A steady chord progression, looping. Some arpeggiating fun happening on top. Little staccato plucks where needed. Very, very 80s. You know, I just have fun sometimes listening to these songs. It's one of those times. I love this synth. This specific lead is really nice. It's got such a nice warm tone to it. And I am assuming we're looping here, but it's a vibe. I've got nothing wrong with the loop. Nothing against it. Especially if it's a fun one, you know? I'm listening more to the reverb in there. There's obviously a lot. Very characteristic of this era. Oh, is this related to the Showdown in Chinatown stuff? I guess it wouldn't shock me given the era that was trying to go for as well. I only figure as much because I saw it on the video pop up at the end there, and I'm figuring it's probably related if it appeared there, as it tends to be. But if that's the case, yeah, just a different approach to the sound, probably for some different reason. This feels mini-game-esque for some reason to me, like this would be like a side thing during that event maybe. but doesn't really matter. It's a vibe and it'll be fun to talk about. All right, so I'll just start off by giving you the chord progression here, albeit this is a little bit more nuanced than I thought it would be given how the song sounds. It's a little bit difficult to figure out exactly what chord is happening at the end, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct that this is an A, G, D, and then E minor. That feels weird though. I thought it was A, G, D, E for most of this, but then I was like, wait a minute. I think that they are changing it for A minor at some points too. Like, not always. I feel like there's a slight shift somewhere in the harmonics of this that makes it A, G, D, E minor. Because again, I was really thinking it was that the whole time, but then that feels right, especially this note right here, that G, given we do have that chord there. It's like, this doesn't feel right in basically any of the chords. And these are the things that keep me up at night with music, because it's like, I listen to the best of my abilities, and there are some times where I hear things and it's just not quite clear enough. I don't think that I'm off the mark, assuming the general chord progression. I think that that is very much the case. But at the same time, I feel like that A does trade in once in a while, and potentially so does the E, really depending on what it wants the mood of the song to be, because there are moments in this where it does feel like it's a little bit more uplifting than others. The whole song itself and that progression in general, the A, G, D, E, whatever variant of the minors that are included with that, tends to be a very uplifting traditional chord structure. It's not like this is a new or complicated chord structure in any way, shape, or form. It's one of the most basic ones out there, but that's exactly why it works so well for what this song is doing, creating a backbone of something else, largely going to be a background song for some event, as I would assume. But that's exactly why it opens itself up for all of these like solo little bits, these leads that are just kind of doing their own thing on top of everything. These chords are very open, and they allow for the most fun you could possibly have in a progression. So it's like you're just opening a lot of the keyboard for this, so doing solo stuff is usually pretty friendly for that, and why, again, I think that the switch between the A minor and A might be a part of that as well, because if you're doing something like, not necessarily a modal change, but if you need to use a harmonic scale or a melodic scale and vary some of that based on what you want to play for the solo, that can also end up changing the relationship of what the chords underneath it feel like. So while I'm hearing something like an A, they might be playing the lead on the actual C down here instead of the C sharp. So that's the thing that I was getting at earlier. There are definitely moments where music can get just weirdly complicated, even when there's not actually a reason for it to be, just because there are frequencies stepping on top of each other, and albeit my ear is okay, it's by no means super well trained or anything, so I can't really decipher those exact separations in those frequencies. So I just kind of have to make an educated guess to the best of my abilities and hope I'm in the ballpark, and I'm pretty sure I'm in at least some degree of ballpark with how I'm handling this structure here. But moving on from the melody stuff, the rhythm stuff in this song is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting with that sound, that 80s drive. Like I mentioned, how driving this song sounds, and a lot of that is just keeping the kick going, just that boo, 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 all the way through. There was obviously like one or two times where they lifted that out just to add a little bit of accent, you know? You want to separate the song somehow, add a different variant of whatever progression you're doing, have a new solo in there, add a little bit of tension or release depending on what you need. So by all means, take out the kick, but for the large part of the song, the vast majority of it, that was there. And that is something that is so consistent in basically all 80s synthwave inspired music, anything from that era itself as well. And also just the essence of the drum fills that were happening in here with the fucking samples that they were using. It's just very like Roland 707 sounds, not even 808s, just 707s even before that time. Very much that like overly compressed digital drum sample sound. And I love it. It's just something that I've always loved. I love it when people sample it in basically anything. And even though I was nowhere near alive in that time, there is something weirdly nostalgic about it. I feel like that's why so many people like the synthwave sound even if they're younger anyway. There's just something that it has an essence, you know, like it's just got a vibe to it that you're like, hell yeah, that's a roll down the windows and drive on the highway sort of sound. And that's kind of what this gives me, albeit this is not a highway road warrior style of song. It just kind of comes from that era, so it feels like that to me. But that's exactly why. The synths being used here very much from that era as well, so it just all works together. They did a really good job at making it feel good. And I always feel weird saying it feels good and that's all it needs to be, but sometimes that is the point, right? Like you don't need to be breaking barriers and making the most unique original song ever that's gonna win awards, you know? Like you can make songs like this that are still really good, that drive for their purpose and serve for that purpose, and they don't really have anything else that's going for them, but like that's exactly the point, right? They're simple, they're effective, that's what they are, that's what they need to be, that's why I say what I do. So it's just a matter of this song being perfect for what it is and using a lot of the familiar sounds that we've pulled from that era of music and just continue using it for those callbacks, those nostalgic little moments or events in games like this that just feel like they need that essence. So they use it and it works, even if it is a simple progression that we all know and isn't all that complicated. It still feels so weirdly familiar, like we heard it on an old CD somewhere, even if it was on in a dream or something, you know? We just don't know or remember where, and that's kind of where the beauty and magic of this comes from. So this is really fun. I love these types of songs. Even when they're not super original, there's always something to learn from the essence of just make it fun, and it doesn't have to be complicated as long as you're getting the point across and going for what you're going for. But I think I've yapped enough about this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Reverse 1999, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!